how to say no to Tom, and it's okay. We realized that we had a problem. When I was making invitations, requests, and commands in the group, we didn't have a protocol for how to respond. So it was really difficult to turn me down or say no to anything. And then we discovered that there are 6 or maybe 7 ways to respond to these. The first one is to say yes and. Oops, that comes with an exclamation mark. So let me see if we can improv theater this. Emma, will you go make me a cup of coffee?
Yes, and I'll get you a muffin.
I love that. This is like my favorite response. This is the most positive thing that you can respond with is yes, and I will do more. I will exceed the request. That was brilliant, by the way. One right down from there is just yes. Let's try that in. Will you make me a cup of coffee?
Yes.
Everything's clear. Now, not quite as positive as that is yes, if, or yes, but. The if and the but are contingencies. They're conditions under which you can say yes. And let's see if we can do this one in improv theater way. And will you go make me a cup of coffee?
Yes, if you show me how to do it.
Because she has no idea how to make a cup of coffee, and she knows this. She can be like, yes, I'll make you a cup of coffee, but then she's going to get into the espresso machines and be like, how the heck does this thing work? So she would love to say yes if I show her how to do it. Or yes, but I need someone to show me how to do it. So this is a conditional yes. As long as these conditions are met, then yes. Notice how this module is called How to Say No to Tom and It's Okay. And the first 3 responses are yes. This works for me. We're going to get to no eventually. We had yes, if, the conditional yes. After that comes no, but. Emma, will you go make me a cup of coffee?
No, but I'll buy you one.
Oh, that's beautiful. No, I won't meet your request, but I'll propose an alternative to your request. So that's a different kind of no. Another one is this is the conditional no. No, unless, and these are really the same kind of things, but the unless is a little bit more strongly phrased. Emma, will you go make me a cup of coffee?
No, unless you show me how to do it.
Yeah, that's a little bit more negative. You can say yes if conditional, yes but conditional. It sounds pretty positive. But if you say no unless, you're putting a little bit more resistance behind it. No, unless you tell me that I don't have to fill out this report or do this form, unless you release me from some other duty that you gave me that I thought was a higher priority. So no but, no unless, these sort of contingent no's. And let me see if I can think of the next one. We're working our way down to the most negative. And down at the bottom is, is going to be, that's just a flat out refusal. Emma, will you go make me a cup of coffee?
No.
So she's got all the way from yes, and I'll get you a muffin, to no. And she doesn't have to add anything. She doesn't have to be like, make your own dang coffee, you know? It's okay to be like, no. And then I'd be like, that feels a little bit like rejection. But here's the thing about the request protocol. If I'm willing to say what I want, Emma, I want you to go make me a cup of coffee. Okay is not here. There's no okay. You're down here right now. I want you to go make me a cup of coffee. I'm making a stronger request. I want you to go make me a cup of coffee.
No.
Just because I want something doesn't mean the whole world has to want it. I gotta be okay. You know, if I'm gonna say I want things, I have to be okay if the rest of the world doesn't want what I want. That's called outcome independence. So I'm gonna make a request of Emma. Will you? I want you to. And it's a cup of coffee. And if she says no, then my emotional state remains independent of how she responds to the request. It would be unfair. I'm going to model the what not to do. Emma, I want you to go make me a cup of coffee.
No.
Damn it, Emma. Why don't you ever make me a cup of coffee when I ask you for coffee? Now my emotional state is not independent of her. Now I'm using my own negative emotions to coerce her into doing something she doesn't want to do. This is unfair to her. So instead, I must remain outcome independent. You ask, you tell the world what you want, and if the world doesn't want what you want, it's okay. You're like, oh, Marcus, I want you to go make me a cup of coffee. Oh, Lauren, will you go make me a cup of coffee?
No.
See, the world doesn't want what I want. I'm gonna have to make my own coffee. And I'm gonna be okay with this, because a cup of coffee is what I want, and that's within my power to create. Now, the only thing is, I thought there was something in between contingent no and heck no. There wasn't? Oh, yes there is, sorry. I'm gonna separate no unless, or no, well, no unless. The no but is when you make an offering for something else. No, but I'll buy you one. That was a great example, Emma. No, unless you do something else is a little bit more resistant, and then there's just no. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways. 7 if you count yes, if, yes, but I'm lumping them together. 6 different ways to respond to the request protocols. Of those 6 different ways, half of them are like yes, and half of them are no. And if you say no, it's okay. Now, if you say no to a command, there will be consequences. We don't know what the consequences are ahead of time. But the other 2, the requests and the invitations, whatever the consequences are, they're inconsequential. They're irrelevant.